I actually couldn't believe it at first. It's just one of those things at that point you didn't think was going to happen to you or your family. But as soon as we got those positive results back, we're like, all right, this is serious. We need to take it very seriously. Did our contact tracing. Luckily, I had been pretty isolated that week, so I hadn't been in contact with hardly anyone. But it was kind of a life-changing event.
And so I waited a little bit, and finally 6 days after I was released from quarantine, I did go to a public outing. I just started talking about it. And I think some people were shocked by that because they were surprised that I wanted to discuss it. But I also have the mindset that if it's not going to be me, who will it be? If it's not people that had it, who will discuss it? Who's going to be able to educate others? It is our responsibility, those that have contracted it and survived it, it's our job to talk about the stigma and how we need to normalize and discuss this and educate people and show grace.
My daughter, she is immunosuppressed, she wore a mask inside the house just like I did, and I was in a different room and she was in a different room, but we're just being extra precautious. The impact of isolation, you can't say prayers with your daughter at night, you can't eat a family meal together, and all those things weigh on you as you progress into the isolation days and the quarantine days. Those things are tough.
I was really, really surprised when they called me up and told me that I tested positive. I was like, wow. I mean, me positive? I hadn't been any place. I don't know. It just kind of shows the world what it is. I feel like I'm here in St. Louis City. I haven't gone any place I don't travel, and I have a disease that started across somewhere across the globe in a place I've never been, and now I have it. That was amazing to me. That it made its way to me.
Being in the position I'm in and being the town funeral director and the town undertaker and all that, I felt it was important, instead of trying to isolate away and not share my story, I felt it was best to kind of get in front of it and kind of control the narrative, because in small towns, word does tend to get out, right or wrong. So for me, I can look at it and go, it's not that big of a deal. But I also had 2 uncles who ended up in the hospital for a week on oxygen. Their symptoms weren't severe, but they were enough to end them up in the hospital for a week to a week and a half. Do they look at it a little different than I do? I'm sure they do. It's easy for me to just look at myself and go, it's not a big deal. Being my career, I've gone to the hospital and made removal for people that have passed away, that have had COVID. Is it pretty serious for their loved ones? Absolutely. I can objectively look at it outside of myself and say, there's cause for concern.
I would say to anyone my age who is afraid of getting COVID-19 is, it's scary, it's a virus, and while you might be fine with it, there are definitely people who are high risk who may not be fine. Definitely take the proper precautions not to get it. Like if you're unfortunate enough that you do come across it, you do get it, definitely quarantine, do everything the government and health department tells you to, because they're only trying to help you out and help you help others out. My symptoms weren't that bad, and most of my friends who have had it as well said their symptoms, they weren't great, but they were bearable. I'm sure people my age, they're gonna get through this, they're gonna be fine. Just be sure not to pass it on to somebody who won't be fine.